Okay, children. So in the last class, we have seen that this protagonist, okay, the protagonist of a story, he was going towards Mount Kailash with two more people. One is Satan, who is a driver as well as a guide, and another one is Daryl, who was his friend. Okay. So by the late afternoon, we have reached the small town of Hor, back on the main east-west highway that followed the old trade route from Alaska to Kashmir. Now, what is there, children? By the late afternoon, okay, they reached Hor. It's a town, okay, and back to the east-west highway, which was an old route. It was an old route from Alaska to Kashmir. Daniel, who was returning to Alaska, found him right in a truck. So Satan and I bade him farewell outside the tire repair shop. Now, what is there? This third person, this third fellow, which was there in their trip, Daniel. Okay, he just decided to return back to the place from where they had started their journey. Okay, so he got a lift in a truck. So these both Satan and the writer, the narrator, he just bade him a farewell. We had suffered two punctures in quick succession on a drive down from the Salt Lake, and Satan was eager to have them fixed since they left him with no spares. Beside the second tire, had been replaced by one that was smooth as my blade head. Now, by this blade head, what we came to know that the protagonist was a blade head person. Okay, so what he was saying that they've just bid a farewell to this Daniel, and their car suffered two punctures. Okay, their car, when they have reached this place after here, their car suffered two punctures on the way from Salt Lake to. Okay, on the way from the Salt Lake, when they were coming from the Salt Lake towards this hole, okay, there was a puncture in their tire. So Satan was eager. He was very eager to get them fixed because he know this thing that they had no spare tire. Okay, so as soon as they reached to this hole, this Satan was a driver. Okay, he wants to fix this puncture. Why? Because he know that they don't have a spare tire and they can face a difficulty. Fine. So he just decided to repair these tires. Now what is there, children? The second tire, he know that they had a tire, but what is there in that, children, that the second tire, which was earlier he was using that tire, okay, and that tire was very smooth, okay, and that smooth tire cannot run on these rocky areas. So he know that he do not have any spare tires. So that's why he want to repair that old one. Hor was a grim, miserable place. There was no vegetation whatsoever, just dust and rocks, liberally scattered with the years of accumulated refuse, which was unfortunate given that the town sat on the shore of Lake Mansarovar, Tibet's most venerated stretch of water. Now, what is there, children? Hor, the writer is saying that the Hor was an ugly and a miserable place, okay, which had no vegetation, and just what it had just rocks, okay, rocks and dust, okay, just rocks and dust was there, and it is scattered and gathered refuse, and it was luckless. That what was their luckless, that it was on the shore of Lake Mansarovar. Okay, now this Lake Mansarovar is the most respected lake, for the most respected water, we can say that from the water which is coming from this lake is the most respected one for the Tibetans. Okay, they really pray to this Lake Mansarovar. Ancient Hindu and Buddhist cosmology pinpoints Mansarovar as a source of four great Indian rivers: the Indus, the Gangas, the Satluj, and the Brahmaputra. Now, what is there, children? This Tibetan, okay, according to the ancient Hindu and Buddhist cosmologies, it is what? It consists of 4 Indian rivers, which this lake Mansarovar. Okay, this lake Mansarovar consists of 4 Indian rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, the Satluj and the Brahmaputra. Okay, actually only the Satluj flows from the lake, but the headwaters of the others all rise nearby on the flanks of Mount Kailash. We were within stinking distance to a great mountain, and I was eager to forge ahead. Now, what is there, children? The writer is saying that Satluj river flows from the lake, and other 3 rivers they rise near the side of the Mount Kailash. Okay, but according to the cosmology, ancient cosmology, what they used to think? They used to think that these 3 rivers flows from this Mansarovar. Okay, but only one, Satluj, flows from the Mansarovar, and other 3 are coming from the side of the Mount Kailash. Okay, so they were in a remarkable distance. Okay, they were where these writer and this Satan, because Daniel was gone. So they were just a remarkable distance, and this person, this writer, this protagonist, he was very eager now. Okay, because he was able to know that, he came to know that he was a little distance from Mount Kailash. But I had to wait. And Satan told me to go and drink some tea in the host only cafe, which, like all the other buildings in the town, was constructed from a badly painted concrete and had 3 broken windows. The good view of the lake, though, one of them helped me to compensate from the drop. Now, what is there, children? This Satan, okay, he just told the writer, the protagonist, that you just sit and have a cup of coffee or a tea in a cafe. Why? Because he was just busy with at the repair shop. Okay, so this person, this protagonist, he waited for Satan, and while having some tea at the host coffee, okay, he decided to have some tea at the host coffee, and it was the only cafe over there, and that cafe was very badly constructed. Okay, and from the badly constructed means the concrete paint, and it had a 3 broken windows. But what was the writer saying? The writer is saying that although it had a very good view of a lake Mansarovar, so I just compensate on that. Okay, he said, but the condition of the hotel, but the condition of that cafe was very bad. Okay, it was not properly constructed, but the view from the cafe was very good. It was just the view of the lake Mansarovar. So I just compensate with that, and I've decided to sit here and have a cup of tea. Okay, I was served by a Chinese youth in military uniform who spread the grease only around on my table with a fitted rag before bringing me a glass and a thermos of tea. Now, what is there? He was saying that there was he was served, this protagonist was served by a Chinese boy. And who was he? Who was wearing a military uniform. This Chinese boy was wearing a military uniform. And what did this boy do before serving him tea? He just spread the grease around his table, okay, with a very dirty cloth. Okay, with a very dirty cloth, he just tried to clean the table. Okay, but the cloth was very dirty, so it doesn't clean the table. But what happened? It just spread a grease on the table. The table become a little sticky. And what he did, and then he brought a glass and a thermos, okay, for tea. Half an hour later, Satan revealed me from my solitary confinement. Confinement means children capture. Okay, we drove past a lot more rocks and rubbish westwards out of a town towards Mount Kailash. Now, what is there, children? Now, he was just saying this line, and half an hour later, Satan revealed me from my solitary confinement. It is in a humorous way, okay? Because what did Satan know? Satan knows this thing that the person, the writer, he don't know the place. Okay, that's why he told him to, you just wait at the cafe for me and don't go anywhere. So this line is said in a humorous way by the writer. Okay, he was saying that after half an hour, what happened? Satan freed me from his private detention. Okay, from Satan has had captured me. How he has captured me? He just told the writer to stay at a particular place and don't go anywhere. So this line he said in a humorous way. Okay, and then what happened? Then they started their journey ahead. And what they saw when they were going towards Mount Kailash, they saw that they were passing more rocks and rubbish. So in the town of Ho, what is there? There is more rocks and rubbish was all around. Okay. My experience in Hor came a stark contrast to accounts I would have read of earlier travelers' first encounter with Lake Mansarovar. Now, what is the writer saying? The writer saying that my experience was opposite from what he read out. Okay, the travelers' first encounter to the town. The travelers, those who come first before this writer. Okay, they have written many beautiful things about this town, Hor. Okay, now he was saying that when I came here, when I personally experienced the things, what I feel, what I had read, it is just opposite to that. The town is just opposite to that. Okay, Ikai Kawaguchi, a Japanese monk who had arrived there in 1900, was so moved by the sanctity of the lake that he burst into tears. Now, what is there? He said that Kawai Kawaguchi was a Japanese. Okay, he was a Japanese monk and who arrived in the town in 1900. And what happened? He was so moved by the purity of a lake that when he saw this lake Mansarovar, he just cried. His feelings came out and he started crying. Okay. A couple of years later, Holland Waters had a similar effect on Sween Hedden, a Swede who wasn't prone to sentimental outbursts. Now he said the similar thing after a few years. These all things he had read. Okay, before coming to Hor, before coming to his trip. So he said that after the few years, similar effect was on Steven Hedden. Steven Hedden is what? He was a Swedish and who did not have such an emotional outburst, but he was also filled by seeing Lake Mansarovar. So he was saying that I have read all these things before coming here, that people when they used to come here, they used to feel purity, they used to feel calmness, and they just felt so much attached to this lake that they used to show their feelings over here. But he said when I am here, I just saw everything is opposite to that. Okay, what I had read and what I am experiencing, both things are different. It was dark by the time we finally left again, and after 10:30 p.m. we drove up outside a guest house in Darachi for what turned out to be another trouble night. Now he was saying that they have, when they resumed their journey from Hor, and it was dark at the time. It was 10:30 and it was dark, and after 10:30 p.m. they decided to stay in a guest house. Okay, so they decided to stay in a guest house, and now where they are in Darachi. Okay, and which he said that my night in that place, in that guest house, okay, it turned out to be a difficult night. Okay, that night turned out to be a difficult night for him. Kicking around in the open air rubbish dumps that passed from the town of the Hor had set off my cold once more. Though if truth be told, I have never quite disappeared with my herbal tree. Now he was saying that the rubbish dumps in Hor, I told you that there was a lot of rubbish dumps in Hor. So he was saying that the rubbish dumps in Hor made his cold worse. He's having cold. So that cold made it worse. And herbal tea, his herbal tea which he had brought, it also did not help him now. Okay, so now his cold has become worse when they reached Derachi. And what was the reason he was saying? The reason was because of the rubbish he found in the whole town. Okay, one of my nostrils was blocked again, and I lay down to sleep. I wasn't convinced that the other would provide me a sufficient oxygen. Now, what happened, children? He was saying that one of his nostrils, okay, was blocked as he lay on the bed. When he lay on the bed, he felt that one of his nostrils was blocked, and he wasn't getting sufficient oxygen as he checked it from the another nostril. Okay, when he checked it from the another nostril, he found that he was not getting a sufficient oxygen. My watch told me I was at 4,760 meters. It wasn't much higher than the Rawa, and there I would be gasping for oxygen several times every night. Now he was saying that when I checked my watch, what I found that we were 4,760 meters. Okay, he said that it is not more, that the height is not more than Rawa, but what is there? there in the Rava. Okay, he can breathe properly, but here he's having a breathing problem. Okay, so I would grow accustomed to these natural disturbance by now, but this still scared me. Now, what is he saying? He was saying, see, that I'm very familiar. He was so familiar with these night disturbance. Okay, sometimes because he doesn't visit to the first place. Many a times he has gone to such places on such heights, but what is there? Every time he used to face some difficulties in breathing. Why? Because we go on a height, we used to face some difficulties. So he is saying that this is not the first time. I'm very familiar to these kinds of things. Okay, many a times I got a cold, my one nostril is closed and I'm unable to breathe from the second. But it never scared me. But this time what? This time I'm a little scared. Okay, now this time when he was not able to breathe properly, when he was not able to take oxygen from a single nostril, what happened? He was now getting a little scared about it. Okay, about his health. Tired and hungry, I started breathing through my mouth. After a while, I switched to single nostril power, which seemed to be admitting enough oxygen. But just as I was drifting off, I woke up abruptly. Now, what is he saying? He's saying that he was very tired. Okay, so he started breathing from his mouth. He was very tired and hungry, and he just started breathing from his mouth. Okay, so he switched back after sometimes. What he did, he just switched back to the breathing with a single nostril. One is closed, and then he started breathing from the single nostril. And as soon as he was about to sleep, what happened? He would wake up shortly. Okay, it means when he was trying to sleep, he was not able to sleep. Okay, something was wrong. My chest felt strangely heavy and I sat up. A movement that cleared my nasal passage almost intensely and revealed the feeling in my chest. Curious, I thought. Now, what is there? He said that he was not feeling well. Okay, his chest was what? His chest felt heavy. Suddenly, he started feeling heavy, some heaviness in his chest, and he just sat up. Okay, he was sleeping. He just get up from his bed and he just sat up and he cleared his nasal passage. He tries to clear that nostril which is blocked. Okay, and he thought that there is something wrong. I lay back down and tried again. Same result. He said that again he tried. He just lie down again on the bed and he again tried to breathe from both the nostrils and from the mouth. But the same thing happened. Okay, I was on a point of disappearing into the land of Nod when something told me not to. It must have been those emergency electric impulsive again, but this was not the same on previous occasions. This time I wasn't gasping for breath. I was simply not allowed to go to sleep. Now, what is he saying? He tried again, okay, to lie down on the bed, but what happened? The same result. So he was in a land of signals, okay, where something told him not to do it. Now, signals is why he's saying in a land of Nod means signals. Okay, land of Nod means now he's getting some indication that if I am going to lie down on the bed, okay, his sixth sense are working and they're saying that if you are going to lie down on a bed, you are going to die. Okay, so he said that I got some signals that if I'm going to repeat it, I have to suffer something. Okay, so when he was sitting up, what is there? It must have been those emergency electric pulse. He was saying that when he was sitting up, it made him feel better. And what happened? Better as he could breathe properly. When he was sitting up, he's feeling better and he can breathe properly. But what is there? Just as he tried to do opposite, it means just he tried to lie down. What happened? He started again feeling heaviness in his chest and he was unable to breathe. So what is there, children? That he held himself against the wall. Now what he decided, he don't know. Okay, he was getting some signals and this time, this is not the first time these things are happening with him. Okay, many a time he got cold, his nostrils got blocked, he used to breathe from his mouth, but the situation which is right now, what he is feeling right now, okay, that situation never came. Okay, he was feeling that if I'm going to lie down, what will happen? I'm going to die. And this is the signal he is getting from something. Well, something means from his own senses. Okay, that I should not lie down. So this is the signal he is getting. So he was saying that my condition is becoming what? My condition is becoming worse now. Okay. Sitting up once more immediately made me feel better. Now what he said, he just woke up and sit down. I could breathe freely and my chest felt fine. But as soon as I lay down, my senses felt and my chest was all. I tried propping myself upright against the wall, but now I could manage to relax enough to drop off. I couldn't put my finger on the reason, but I am afraid to go to sleep. A little voice inside me was saying that if I did, I might never wake up again. So I stayed awake all night. Now, what is he saying? He was saying that what happened? He just, what he did, he wasn't able to go to sleep. So what he did, he was just, when he was sitting up, okay, it made him feel a little better as he could breathe properly at that time. And his chest was also feeling a little light. Now what happened, children? The opposite happened. As soon as he tried to lie down, the opposite thing happened. So what he did, he just led himself against the wall, but he wasn't able to relax. He was just sitting against the wall. He was just lying down against the wall. But what happened? He was not feeling relaxed. Still, he is feeling some heaviness in his chest, and he was afraid to sleep. Now he was afraid to sleep. Why? Because a voice inside him told him that if he might die, okay, if he tried to sleep, he might die. So he decided to stay awake for the whole night. Okay. Satan took me to Darachin Medical College the following morning. The medical college in Darachin was new and looked like a monastery from the outside, with a solid door that led to a large courtyard. We found the consulting room, which was dark and cold and occupied by a Tibetan doctors who wore none of our phenomena that I have been expecting. Now, what is there? He told that Satan, he took him to Darachin Medical College, okay, the next morning. And what was it? It was a new one. It was newly constructed and it looked like a monastery, okay. And with a door, there was a door which led them to a large courtyard, okay. And they went to a dark and a cold consulting room, okay, filled with the Tibetan doctors. Now what is there, children? Which he expected that these doctors were in a white coat and something, but the atmosphere inside that consulting room was totally different, okay. So what he decided, what he felt, that these Tibetan doctors, okay, they will obviously wore their some doctors white coat or stethoscope and everything, but every article, everything is different over there, okay. No white coat. He looked like any other Tibetan with a thick pullover and a woolly hat. When I explained my sleepless symptoms and my sudden aversion to lying down, he shot me a few questions while feeling the veins in my vest. Now what he said that he was wearing, that doctors were not wearing the white coats, but what they were wearing, they were looking like a normal Tibetan, and they were wearing a thick pullover and a woolly hat, okay. So this writer, he just told the doctor about what all happened. So doctor just asked him some questions, okay. He just hold his vest and he started asking him some questions. So now what are those questions are? It it is cold, he said finally through Satan, a cold and the effects of an altitude. I will give you something for it. I asked him if he would, if he thought I would recover enough to be able to go to Kora. Oh yes, he said, you will be fine. Now what is there? This doctor, okay, he just told the driver, the Satan, that it is cold. It is just a cold, and he had an effect of the cold. Due to what? Due to that altitude change. Okay, due to that altitude change, he had this cold has become worse. Now the writer asked this doctor that if I'm able to, what do you think, that if I'm able by these medicines, by everything, I will recover soon and am I able to complete this Kora? So he said that don't worry, okay, by taking some medicines, you will be able to complete your Kora. Okay, I walked out of the medical college clutching a brown envelope stuffed with the 15 screws of paper. I had a 5-day course of Tibetan medicines, which I started right away. Now, what is there? The doctor gave him a 5-day course medicine, and he came out with a brown envelope which contains medicine, and he started taking the medicines from the day one only. I opened an after breakfast package and found it contained a brown powder that I had to take with the hot water. Now, what is there? After the breakfast, he just opened the package of the medicine, and what he found, a brown packet, a brown powder was there, and that powder he had to mix it in a hot water and drink it. It tasted like a ketamine. The contents of the lunchtime and bedtime packages were less obvious, indefinable. Both contained small spherical brown pellets. Pellets means tablets, shots, okay, a small tablets. So what is there in the lunchtime and the bedtime? At the bedtime, he had what? Tablets. They looked suspiciously like sheep dung. And how these tablets are looking? They're looking like a sheep dung. Okay, but of course, I told them the night after my first full day's course, I slept very soundly like a log, not a dead man. Now he said that after taking that medicines for the full day, right from the breakfast till bedtime, okay, he said that he slept very peacefully. Okay, he slept very peacefully that night. Okay, children.